Hello, I am Annie, and these are my musings. Today's video is going to be discussing XO Kitty Season 2 and how it treats its LGBTQ+ characters as disposable in certain ways. I will discuss why that is a harmful way to treat LGBTQ+ characters, how the show can improve, and how this is part of a larger pattern and problem of how LGBTQ+ characters are treated in the media. So for those of you who didn't watch XO Kitty Season 2, this video will contain spoilers for the season, so this is your only warning if you'd like to watch it for yourself. So if you'd like to watch the show before watching this video, please click away now. Okay. Without further ado, let's get into the video. XO Kitty Season 2 pretty much starts where Season 1 left off. Kitty has a crush on Yuri, who is with Juliana, who has finally come back to kiss. Kitty orders a single bedroom, but because of budget cuts ends up with roommates, two of which are Yuri and Juliana. So obviously Kitty is jealous, and it is hard for her to witness them being happy together due to her feelings for Yuri. Yuri and Kitty also continue to bond over their mother's past friendship, and they even kiss. Yuri does cheat on Juliana, which I will get into later. However, after a while, for no reason that I could see, despite having long-standing feelings for Yuri, Kitty realizes that she's in love with Mino. There's only one problem with that. Kitty didn't care about him last season, and besides forcing Peter Larrajean parallels and giving most of Yuri's Season 1 storyline to Minho as a repeat, the chemistry between the two characters just isn't there. At least for me, and I'm sure many other LGBTQ+ people. I do want to make it clear, though, that this video is not solely about ships and which characters have the most chemistry. It is about how LGBTQ+ characters like Yuri and Juliana are mistreated and cast aside for cishet characters like Mino. While I do prefer Kitty and Yuri because their relationship is more unique, and they have more chemistry in my opinion, I have no hatred for Kitty and Mino. What I do hate is how the LGBTQ+ characters in XO Kitty Season 2 are treated as disposable and less important than the cishet man Mino. Yuri and Juliana especially suffer from this, and it is particularly harmful as both of them are women of color. Yuri cheats on Juliana with Kitty, but then ignores Kitty for a while because she wants to get Juliana back. The problem is that Juliana later moves on with another woman, Pravina. And so Yuri is left alone at the end of the season, since Kitty is randomly into Mino instead of Yuri. The problem with that is that the show treats its LGBTQ+ characters as interchangeable and as disposable, not as the unique individuals they are. The show also treats Yuri in particular as a stepping stone for Kitty to realize her feelings for Mino. The problem with those things is that Kitty is the main character, the protagonist of the story, but nothing about her relationships in XO Kitty Season 2 makes any sense. She seems to have deep feelings for Yuri, even writing her a letter like Larrajean did for the boys she loved. And Yuri and Kitty have a ton of chemistry, and both characters seem to care deeply for each other. At one point in XO Kitty Season 2, Yuri ditches Juliana to hang out with Kitty. Not purposefully, but she still does it, and that leads to them fighting, which leads to the Yuri and Kitty kiss. After the kiss, however, Kitty seems to get over Yuri in no time at all, despite having deep feelings for her for 2 seasons. Only to end up with Mino because why? Because he's a man and he's there. There is no build-up to this new relationship, and there is no reason for viewers to believe that Kitty is actually over Yuri. But she is, because clearly, her true love has to be a man. Here's the thing. Kitty is bi, so she can end up with whoever she wants to be with. But there is no reason to believe she actually has feelings for Mino, and that her feelings for Yuri would actually disappear out of nowhere. The reason Mino and Kitty are together is solely fan service, and the writer is not being brave enough to commit to an LGBTQ+ pairing. The issue is this. If you're going to give LGBTQ+ people a pairing to root for, only to rip it away in favor of a man-woman relationship, you'd be better off not touching LGBTQ+ characters at all. Because that isn't at all fair or right for LGBTQ+ audience members. It makes it look like Yuri was just a phase for Kitty before she settled down in a real relationship with a cishet man. And though that is likely not the writer's intention, it is their impact nevertheless. Yuri ends the season heartbroken, and for what? To put Kitty with Mino? For fan service? That's wrong in my opinion. LGBTQ+ characters like Yuri and LGBTQ+ fans of XO Kitty deserve better. Now, some people may argue that Kitty's endgame relationship doesn't invalidate her sexuality. After all, she's bisexual. She's attracted to people regardless of gender and just happens to end up with a man. I would agree, except the closure for Yuri and Kitty's relationship was not closure at all. We're expected to believe that Kitty got over Yuri because of how she was treated with the whole Juliana situation, but we're given no reason to believe that that is actually the case. Instead, Kitty winding up with Mino seems random and out of character, not to mention out of nowhere. That's how you know it's fan service. Kitty and Yuri, on the other hand, had a believable build-up to their relationship. And if the writers wanted to give them closure this season, they went about it the wrong way. Yuri and Juliana could have stayed together, or gone back together at least. That way Yuri wouldn't be left heartbroken, and Juliana wouldn't replace her so easily. If they didn't want to go the Kitty and Yuri route as well, the writers should have considered how harmful it is to use a lesbian character like Yuri as an experiment for Kitty before she settles down with a man. Now, I don't believe the writers intended to make it look like that, but that was the impact nevertheless. Kitty dates Pravina for a while during XO Kitty Season 2, and then when her and Yuri kiss, she seems so mixed up about it and wanting to be with Yuri. But we're expected to believe Kitty got over Yuri and fell for the nearest man. The only problem with that is that it treats Yuri and Kitty's relationship as a mistake, and that is a negative trope for an LGBTQ+ couple. If the writers didn't want to put Yuri and Kitty together, they shouldn't have had them kiss and show deep feelings on both sides before dropping Yuri to prop up Mino, because Yuri is not disposable. She is a protagonist in her own right, and what's more, she's gay. So if people actually want to write good representation for LGBTQ+ people, they can't and shouldn't treat their LGBTQ+ characters as disposable. They're not, at all. This problem, however, is not unique to XO Kitty Season 2. Many shows, movies, and books treat LGBTQ+ characters this way. In the past, the characters would just get killed off, like Lexa in The 100 and Pusey in Orange is the New Black. So at least Yuri didn't fall victim to the bury your gays trope. But what did happen is just as bad in my opinion, because Yuri and Juliana are treated as stepping stones, and after treating Juliana as disposable with putting Yuri and Kitty together, Yuri herself is then disposed of for fanservice Kitty and Mino. I don't care if you ship it. I don't at all, as I don't think the ship makes sense or has any chemistry. However, What I do care about is how XO Kitty Season 2 treats its LGBTQ plus characters, particularly its sapphic characters, as disposable. Q, for example, gets a romance with Jin, another member of the track team at KISS. The two of them end up together and happy. If the writers did not want to treat Yuri as a disposable prop for Mino and Kitty, they should have given her a love interest at the end too, so she could have her own happy ending. Instead, Yuri's left heartbroken as Kitty and Mino walk off into the sunset. The issue is that Yuri is not treated with any respect. She is not treated as a protagonist, but as a stepping stone for Kitty to find her true love. There's only one problem with that. Devaluing LGBTQ plus relationships is another negative trope. If LGBTQ plus relationships are seen as stepping stones, as not real, true, lasting relationships, that kind of thinking can bleed into real life and how real LGBTQ plus people are treated. And that's a definite issue. Kitty doesn't have to end up with a woman, but the writers, if they wanted her to end up with Mino, should have put some thought and care into how their other LGBTQ plus characters are written, not just Kitty. Yuri deserves a happy ending too, and if she's not going to be with Kitty, at least give her someone so she's not alone. I've also heard people online discussing Juliana and how Yuri cheating on her with Kitty is also a harmful trope. Agreed. And how the fact that they broke up meant that Juliana falls into the disposable black girlfriend trope, which apparently Jenny Han has written in the past. Also agreed. Though I haven't seen it in any of her writing that I've read, but I didn't read all of her books, so I probably missed it. So, to Jenny Han and any of the other XO Kitty writers, if you're somehow watching this, LGBTQ plus characters are not disposable. We shouldn't be used as stepping stones to get to a man-woman endgame. And at least if we are going to be used that way, at least do us the courtesy of treating our representation with the respect we deserve. AKA, give LGBTQ plus characters like Yuri happy endings. Don't just toss them aside in ways you never do to a cishet man. And if you can't, don't touch LGBTQ plus characters at all. Because LGBTQ plus fans of your work deserve better. That's all I wanted to say in this video. Let me know what you think of XO Kitty Season 2 if you've watched it in the comments. And what do you think about LGBTQ plus characters being treated as disposable? Because it really bothers me, as you can probably tell from watching this video. Thank you for watching this video, and for more LGBTQ plus representation and content, please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.